my Lord, whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and listen, do count them but garbage or dung, that I may win Christ and be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through faith of Christ, the righteousness which is of God by faith. He talks about faith. He talks about a single-mindedness of purpose, a singleness of purpose. And what Paul is saying, as I close, is that the authenticity of my pedigree of who I am does not make me anybody special in the eyes of God. But he says the awareness of God's power is what motivates me to be who I am. Okay, check this out. He says, I am authentic in the fact that I'm staunch and I'm lined up to be chosen over anybody else. He says, but that's not why I'm where I am. He says, I'm where I am because I am aware of God's power. And check this out. This is where I wanted to go. He said all of the other stuff, he says it really matters, but when it comes to my relationship with Jesus Christ, priceless. That's what he says. He does say it. He said because he says I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ Jesus. He says I just want to get to know him. Knowledge in the text has to do with my personal relationship with him. Knowledge in the text has to do with my intimacy with him. He said the more I get to know him, the more I want to know him. He said the more I know of him, the more I want to get to know him. And the more I get to know him, the more I want to know more of him. Okay, check it out. He says that I'm in the kingdom, but I ain't just satisfied being saved. He said I want to focus on getting closer and closer and closer to him. He said I want to focus on committing myself to him. Is it anybody up in here? You know what I'm talking about. You're not just satisfied being saved. Not just satisfied being in the kingdom, not just satisfied being in the church, but you want to get closer to him, because the closer you get to him, the more you'll understand what he has for your life. The closer you get to him, the more you will begin to understand that the stuff that has grabbed you, you're trying to grab. And if you're grabbing at him, I'm talking about apprehending, and he's grabbing at you, and he clenches you and you clench him, you're in great shape. I remember my child, my son, as a matter of fact, we were walking at the mall, and my son went to jump out into the street, and I held his hand, pulled him back, and a car went by. And I thought about that thing. If he had been holding my hand, don't you miss that? If he had just been holding my hand, he'd be dead by now. But I was holding his hand. And because his hand was in my hand, when trouble came, I snatched him back. Is it anybody here? You know what I'm talking about. You're about to step out into the middle of the traffic in life. But God had your hand. And when you got up, he grabbed you back. Is it anybody? He's protected you. He's kept you. God help me here. Yeah. When I think about what he's done for me, when I look at it, I know why now I give him my all. I want to give him my all. I want to commit to him. I want to trust him. I want to delight in him. And the more